Belly fat is not just stored by food. Sometimes, it's stored by what you drink every single day. And one drink in particular is quietly pushing your body in the opposite direction of fat storage, while most people completely ignore it. Not because it's trendy, not because it's detox, but because of what it does to your metabolism beneath the surface. You've probably been taught that fat loss is all about workouts and calories, so you focus on eating less, you try harder, you sweat more, and yet your stomach still looks the same. Here's the frustrating part. You may be accidentally creating the exact hormonal environment that makes belly fat easier to keep. Because your body doesn't decide fat loss based on motivation, it decides based on signals. Insulin. Cortisol, blood sugar stability. Inflammation. Energy demand. And what happens next is the real problem. Most people drink things all day that quietly tell the body to store more energy, crave more food, and burn less fat. Sugary coffees. Energy drinks. Sweetened healthy beverages. Alcohol at night. Liquid calories are dangerous because they move fast. They spike blood sugar quickly, disrupt appetite signals, and often bypass fullness mechanisms, which means your body gets overloaded before your brain even realizes it. But here's what nobody tells you. One simple drink appears to create the opposite effect. Green tea. And no, this is not because it has special fat-burning powers. The real story is much more interesting. Green tea contains compounds called catechins, especially EGCG, and these compounds appear to interact with systems involved in fat metabolism and energy regulation. This is where it gets interesting. Your body has something called AMPK. Think of AMPK like a metabolic fuel sensor. When it's more active, your body becomes more willing to use stored energy. When it's suppressed, which often happens with inactivity, overeating, poor sleep, and chronic stress, fat burning becomes less efficient, especially around the belly. Some research suggests compounds in green tea may support AMPK activity. Not magically, not instantly, but consistently over time. And that changes the conversation completely. Because now we're not talking about a fat-burning trick. We're talking about improving the environment where fat loss becomes easier. But wait, there's another mechanism most people completely miss. And honestly, this may matter even more. Stress chemistry. Specifically, cortisol. When cortisol stays elevated for long periods, your body becomes more protective of abdominal fat storage. Sleep gets disrupted. Cravings get louder. Hunger becomes harder to control. And modern lifestyles push cortisol constantly. Notifications. Poor sleep. Aggressive caffeine. Mental overload. Late-night stimulation. Your nervous system never truly calms down. Now here's the interesting part. Green tea contains L-theanine, a naturally occurring amino acid linked to smoother brain activity and calmer focus. So unlike high-stimulant drinks that make you feel cracked out and exhausted later, green tea tends to create a steadier energy curve. That matters, because when energy becomes smoother, decision-making often improves too. Fewer crashes, fewer impulsive cravings, less stress eating. And the worst part is, most people think their cravings are a willpower problem. They're not. A lot of cravings are chemistry problems, blood sugar instability, sleep disruption, stress overload, hormonal noise. This changes everything. Because now, belly fat is not just about eating too much. It's about the signals controlling hunger, storage, and energy use behind the scenes. But here's the problem. People ruin the effect by turning green tea into dessert. Bottled versions loaded with sugar, cafe drinks packed with syrups, sweetened powders. At that point, you're flooding the body with the exact insulin spikes you're trying to reduce. And insulin matters here. A lot. Because insulin acts like a storage signal. When it remains elevated constantly from ultra-processed foods and sugary drinks, your body gets fewer opportunities to access stored fat efficiently. That's why some people feel like they're doing everything right, but still can't lose stomach fat. Their biology never gets a break from storage mode. But there's another layer almost nobody talks about. Timing. If you drink green tea too late in the evening, the caffeine may interfere with sleep quality, depending on your sensitivity. And poor sleep creates an entirely different fat storage problem. Higher cravings, worse insulin sensitivity, more hunger hormones, lower energy output, which means the next day becomes metabolically harder before it even starts. So timing matters more than people realize. And here's a simple system that works better than extremes. Start your morning with water first. Then have unsweetened green tea sometime in the first half of the day. No heavy sugar, no dessert-style additives. If possible, pair it with movement, even a short walk. That combination may help create a completely different metabolic signal compared to sitting still with a sugary drink. Then, focus on protecting the systems that actually control fat loss long-term. Sleep quality, stress reduction, protein intake, daily movement, blood sugar stability, because all of these systems connect together like circuitry. And once the signals start aligning, your body becomes far more efficient at releasing stored fat instead of defending it. It's not your fault if you thought fat loss was only about discipline. Most people were never taught how metabolism actually works. Your body responds to chemistry before it responds to motivation. And sometimes, the smallest daily drinks quietly shape that chemistry more than people realize. Not because they're magic, but because they influence the signals your body listens to every single day. Follow Burn Lab YT for real fat loss science without the nonsense.